When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
This is gonna be fun.
I just had a gun pointed in my
right.
face.
What's in the case?
Brush their weak ass face.
Hunt is on. You are being Harley Davidson, and you're the proof. I'm the Marlboro.
It's from the top.
The one we have waited for.
I herald your end. Goddamn, this is a
Purple people leaders.
I herald.
Don't eat me.
No, we can settle this like men. Christmas Eve around the Galactus.
Ladies and gentlemen, corn dogs and popcorn aficionados, it is now time to frickin' party, baby. It's the rap party. Nick, Morty, it's the rap party, Morty. It's a party time. Marty. Is it Marty or is it Morty? We don't know, because we've been having a hell of a good time all year with our franchise of the year of Back to the Future. We've gone on some deadly ground. We have crashed into the Fantastic Four times. We have Macked, we have Mead, we have been a Ronin, we've been a Rogue, we are one, we are just chilling. It's Christmas time, we're hanging out at Coyote Creek, we're some Lost Boys. We saw Morbius and we said nope. And we also are the two best friends hosting the greatest podcast ever, literally no cap. I am Captain Pop, I'm Jimmy Crackcorn, I'm a movie fan, I'm a popcorn buddy boy, butter bucket, Mr. Man, and I'm sitting here with my best friend in the world. You might know him as the corn dog himself, Marty McCorndog. He is the slick, glizzy, slick Nick. He is bricked up, sticked up, deep fried. He's live. He's with me. It is Nick, Jerry, Krusty, Crispy, Corn Dog Justice with a side of mustard.
I can't beat that. I can't top that. You throw me into these positions, these unwinnable situations, because you're so damn good at the intro.
Blacked out.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me jog your memory a little bit, because you killed it. Thanks, James, for the intro. Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is the season finale, the year finale, and just so excited. It's been another successful year 3. Who would have thought for us? It's amazing, and this is quite literally my favorite episode of the year. I think it's might be your favorite episode of the year as well, because it's when we get to go back through all of our movies, look at all of the crazy, wacky things that we called out, we quote unquote nominated, we get to reflect on things. It's just a blast, and I can't wait to do this with you.
I can't wait either. I think you said it last year. This episode is for us, but we want it to be for everybody. But it really is for us to indulge, go over everything, make it a unnecessary mashup that no one asked for. And Nick, what a celebratory time, because not only is it the rap party, not only is it part 2, the finale. Nick, this is our 100th episode ever since we started doing this thing.
Line up so well. How does that line up perfectly?
How?
Just kidding. We planned it the whole time.
Because we're built different. If you missed the pregame, what are you doing? You're supposed to be pre-gaming with us. We did our quizzes. We did our biggest piece of shit bracket reveal. We did our rankings of the best weapons and the best fighters. And guess what? All of those things are coming into play for this episode. Because, Nick, we're going to do our biggest piece of shit bracket, finally settle it. Who is the biggest piece of shit fictional character for 2025? We're going to be doing the CINEDOME Fighters Tournament, where all of our fictional best fighters are going head-to-head in ridiculous circumstances. And we're going to do our final Poppies and Cornys, the final awards, reveal some fan polls. Nick, we got to just get into it. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. But before we start, you're too late for this episode, friends. But if you want to be part of the 2026 fan polls, I need you to do something. I need you to go to our YouTube. I need you to go to our Instagram. I need you to go to Just Play It Podcast. I need you to hit follow, because that's how you're going to see everything that we're doing. That's how you're going to get to vote, interact with the podcast. You can find us on X at Just Play It Pod. Didn't put fan polls there, but if you want to yell at me on the Twitter, then you could do that. I don't care. I'll come back at you and tell you that you're wrong about everything you've ever thought or believed. And that's what we're about here. We're about breaking the mold, doing fun things, interacting with our audience. So go on, follow us. It means a lot. click subscribe on the YouTube. It helps us a ton. And go see the fun stuff that James is tossing out over there.
Let me toss something your way. We got to get into just the first order of business, which is a banger. It's going to be the biggest piece of shit bracket.
If you don't know how you make it onto this bracket, I need you to hit pause on this right now. And I need you to go back to our previous episode, the Christmas episode. And you can see just how these folks made our cut list to make this top 16. And if you're listening on audio, you can switch over to the YouTube video if you want to see this bracket. We have it displayed up. It is March Madness style. We have the top 16, the Sweet 16, the Shitty 16.
The shitsteen.
The shitsteen. We're going to start out here. We're going to start with our Psychopaths division. And our Psychopaths division is just what it sounds like. And we're going to start out with our weakest psychopath. This is Gregor, even though he still is a psychopath, from Ronin. At number 3, we have O-Dog from Menace to Society. At number 2, Freddy Krueger. What more do you need to say? Nightmare on Elm Street. And number 1, fan favorite, podcast favorite, Briggs from Street Racer.
Whoa, what a division to beat. That is, the psychopaths are always the strongest. I'm going to introduce the asshole division. Or I should call it the Biff division, the Biff vision, because this division is very Biff forward. As we know, Back to the Future was our franchise of the year. And guess what? A Tannen made an appearance as the biggest piece of shit in every single one of those movies. So let's start out with the weakest of the bunch. At the 4 seed for the assholes, we have Biff Tannen from Back to the Future Part 1. This is 1955 version. Number 3. We got a random outlier of David from The Lost Boys, Kiefer Sutherland as a vampire. And number 2, we have Buford Mad Dog Tannen from Back to the Future Part 3. And our number 1 most unhinged Biff is the alternative timeline 1985 Biff Tannen when he went mad with power.
Way too mad, James. Our next division here is the Dipshits division. These might not be the most dangerous, but you got to look out for them. They're sneaky. At number 4 in the Dipshit division, we have Scarlet Sinister from Return to Halloween Town. At number 3, we have Burrell, that drunk asshole from In Time. Number 2, we have Mac Daddy from Mac and Me, who likes to plop, plop, plop around on those flat little fucking feet. Hate him. Ugh. And number 1, we have Magruder, a.k.a. Dr. Cox, from On Deadly Ground.
Yeah, dipshits are a little bit of a wild card, just like our last division here, Nick, which is going to be the Cowards. And we're going to start out with the number 4 seed of Chop Shop Guy from the movie Crash. Number 3, we have Debbie, the ex-fiance of Ben Grimm, The Thing from 2005's Fantastic Four. Number 2, we got Chicago from the movie Poetic Justice. And at the 1 seed, we have Chance Wilder from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. And Nick, we're going to start off this bracket with the Cowards. We're going 1 seed versus 4 seed. Nick, I'm sniffing an upset from the Chop Shop Guy. So I know we've decided Chance Wilder was number 1 because he was a big corporate bad guy, sent henchman, a.k.a. Danny Baldwin, in a shiny trench coat to go murder Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson. They killed all of their friends. He's pushing drugs in the street. But Nick, the fact that this ratio guy, Chop Shop Guy from Crash, was so excited to get into human trafficking, pounced on that business opportunity. He's my upset. I'm sniffing it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, James. Corporate power getting to your head is one thing. Selling humans, it's a whole nother game.
Yeah.
I think we have our quote unquote weakest entry from the weakest division, Chop Shop Guy. I think he takes
major upset. Chop Shop Guy is moving on. And that's going to leave the number 2 and the number 3 seed. So we have Chicago from Poetic Justice and Debbie from Fantastic Four. Nick, I feel like you're going to be strong on one of these guys, and I'm going to be strong on the other.
Well, James, I know what you know. I'm going to be strong on Chicago because I just don't.
I'm going to be
like
strong on Debbie.
Hitting women, but
no,
Debbie,
not good.
I mean, the public returning of an engagement ring to your superhero fiance after he just saved handful of lives.
Who just saved lives?
I think I think this is our second upset of this bracket. I kind of think it's Debbie.
The cowards. They're sneaky. They're sneaky with it. I think Debbie moves on. Chicago, both these characters were just kind of like not prominently featured. I guess Chicago a little bit more, but he was just kind of doing his own thing. And then he punched Regina King, which wasn't cool. But Debbie, man, what a bitch.
What a bitch.
All right, Nick.
All right, James. Time to see if the dipshit division, the dip vision, has itself its own set of upsets. And we're going to start off with our lowest ranked dipshit. That's Scarlet Sinister, Return to Halloween Town, versus Magruder from On Deadly Ground. Magruder, he's going to be my choice here because he is a little more dangerous. He is a guy who's following orders, but he seems to really enjoy his dipshittiness and his piece of shitness. Scarlet Sinister is just a rich kid who, she does fuck with some people. Don't get me wrong. But I think Magruder's just got a little more, he's almost psychopath, if you will.
He was, this is another one of those, like, should have been the psychopaths, but the division's too strong, so you get defaulted to another division, which makes you a very strong entry. And Nick, this is a clear 1/4 seed for me. Magruder's moving on.
Magruder is, like you said, he's just a little too strong.
Way too unhinged.
For a teenage witch. Honestly, that's just what it comes down to. James, this one here, now this is going to get a little interesting for me. We have our 2 seed versus our 3 seed here. We got Mac Daddy from Mac and Me, and we have Burrell at the 3 seed from In Time. Now, Burrell, we all know, had 10 years of life, and instead of giving any of it to his family, the first thing he did was go to the bar, then drink himself to death. That's a big dipshit piece of shit vibe.
Wasted it.
However, Mac Daddy was listening to the voices in his head and grabbed the officer's gun and got a cripple boy shot and would have died if not for the magic of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, so for me, this one's very hard. If we had a top 32, I would love for Boral and Mac Daddy to have their times to shine, but this is what happens when you start out with the shits teen, because Mac Daddy is a definition of a wild card. We don't know what he's going to do. Don't get me wrong. I hate Burrell, a.k.a. Boral, as I call him. Yeah, Burrell, he pissed me off. Like, I think it was just the fact that in that movie, so just to explain it, Justin Timberlake, it's a movie where time is currency. Justin Timberlake gets like 100 years, gives 10 years to his friend Burrell, who is the guy from the Big Bang Theory. Instead of like putting the money away, putting the time away, putting it to his wife, his kid, he just drinks himself to death. And then like, I think I was just so offended at the writing that was just a convenient thing that Justin Timberlake did to give somebody time. You're like, oh, cool, I can go get it from my friend. And then the writers were like, he's dead. he drank himself to death.
And then his wife blamed Justin Timberlake. She was like, why'd you give him 10 years? It's like, I'm sorry. I was trying to, why did I give my best friend? Like, if I won the lottery, I'd give you like $1 million. And if you did something bad,
you knew he was just going to kill himself with booze. It's like, maybe, I guess I didn't know my best friend that well. So I think that's more of like I hate the writing choice of that. And I thought that was so laughable of a decision. Lazy. But man, Mac Daddy is, my gripe with Mac Daddy is that he thinks he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just an alien from another planet. I'm dehydrated. No, he flips off that girl. So he knows what he's doing. Oh, remember he flips off the girl at the gas station.
Yeah.
Like you said, grabs the gun of Buck Flower, the security guard in the supermarket, which my father-in-law was at.
With Mark present.
With Mark there. Yes, we learned on the On Deadly Ground episode. So, Nick, very hard choice for me, but I think I got to see Mac Daddy through. I don't know if Burrell drinking himself to death and his dipshittiness is going to carry him through this bracket.
In the next matchup, we already have Magruder. I need Mac Daddy. I need the Mac matchup.
It's going to be Gruder versus Daddy. It's not good. And speaking of not good, the assholes are not good people. And that's where we're going to move to next. Nick, we're going to start out with the 1 seed versus the 4 seed. Again, this is an easy 1 seed over the 4. OG Biff Tannen, just a bully high schooler, just kind of a douche. Very grapey, probably a little racist. Alt Biff, which is the grown-up version of that, is just an enhanced shitty person who is just drunk with power. This is easy alt 85 Biff.
Willing to kill.
Has killed.
Yeah, we never saw that 55 Biff would have killed somebody, but we know 85 Biff.
He killed George McFly, and he tried to kill Marty on the roof of his Pleasure Paradise casino. So not a good person. Easy 1/4 for me. Nick, the 2 versus 3. We do have Buford Mad Dog Tannen, and we have David from the Lost Boys. So this is a little bit more of an interesting, compelling matchup here. Buford's at the 2, David's at the 3. Mad Dog Tannen, again, very grapey, still murdery. David is murdery, is manipulative, likes to mess with the minds of his victims, likes to be the alpha dog and make betas out of his vampire crew.
The way I'm going to put it is this. Would Buford Tannen have done everything David did and more? And my belief is yes.
Yeah.
That's just how shitty he was. So we don't know David's body count. He forces people to drink blood. He feels a little more like a nuisance as it is a cold-blooded, Buford Tannen type murderer who was also ready to murder Marty and would have if not for the steel boilerplate.
Yeah, Buford moves on. David, you're living in a Biff world. You never had a chance.
He did not. And James, let's go back to that first division we unveiled, the strongest division in our eyes, the psychopaths. And let's get to that 1 seed right away. We have Briggs from Street Racer, who is ready to kill, blackmail. He lets people out on parole. He's a parole officer and then forces them to do his bidding at basically gunpoint. And then we have Gregor from Ronin, who was willing to kill a child to prove his point. So, I mean, these are 2 psychos.
This is an easy 1/4. Gregor, in a lot of other divisions, you would have thrived, my guy. But if you haven't seen the straight-to-video movie Street Racer and seen how unhinged and how remarkably unreasonable this character is, Briggs is an easy selection here, Nick.
Yeah, I think so too. This is just, it's a buzzsaw. This is the number 1 team in the country, comes into this division and just lays it out on the table and says, hey, I'm taking round 1. And that is what it is. Now, James, our other matchup in this division might get a little interesting. Maybe.
Interesting.
The underdog might be able to cover the spread a little bit. Let's check it out. We have Freddy Krueger versus O-Dog. Freddy Krueger, a classic horror character. We know that he was a child graper before he was killed and then came back and still decided to haunt adolescents in their dreams, did a lot of murdering. There's no reasoning with this guy. This is just what it is. And then we have O-Dog, who is kind of your classic gangster who will kill without remorse. And so we have 2 remorseless murderers. One's a graper of the children. One's not. And so I'm going to lean on the Freddy here a little bit.
Yeah, again, this is a Mac Daddy versus Boral situation. 2 very strong entries, but
they are.
Only one can prevail. And I want to go O-Dog just because he's also very unreasonable and makes a lot of irrational decisions. But they both have similar character traits where they kind of enjoy seeing the victim bleed. They like having their foot on their victim's neck a little bit longer than is necessary.
Yeah, they enjoy it too much.
They're both vindictive. Freddy, I think it has to be the psychological things though. He's trying to torment his victims more than O-Dog, and I think Freddy Krueger is the stronger one. Has to move on.
Yeah, unfortunately, O-Dog, that's a tough way to go out in the first round. You put up a great season, you're ranked up there, you're in the toughest division, and it just comes down to luck of the draw at a certain point.
Luck of the draw. And Nick, that's going to bring us to round 2. We're going to stick with these psychopaths. We got a marquee matchup here, friend. Briggs versus Freddy Krueger.
That's right. We are into the Elite Hateful 8. And yeah, the 2 we just talked about here, James, we have Briggs, we have Freddy Krueger. My head says one thing, my heart says another. Where do you land here?
My head and heart say Briggs. He is
yeah,
ridiculously written.
Maybe I'm just getting it twisted because I'm thinking Freddy's much more dangerous, but that's not what it's about. It's kind of easy to be a big piece of shit when you're all powerful. It's a lot harder to be a big piece of shit when you are just kind of out there in the open and you're deciding I'm risking my entire life. Like this guy's facing prison time for the amount of shit that he's doing. And so you're right. It is Briggs.
And he doesn't care because he's that unhinged of a guy.
Couldn't give a shit.
Nick, let's shift back over to the assholes here because we have the number 1 versus number 2 again. We got Alt 85 Biff versus Buford Mad Dog Tannen. My heart says the 1 seed here because I believe Alt 85 Biff is a little bit more unreasonable, unhinged. I believe Buford Mad Dog Tannen is operating within the Old West, literally the Wild West rules, kind of thrives in that environment. Alt 85 Biff is a person that shouldn't exist. There have been Mad Dogs in the past, and there might be Alt Biffs out here right now, but they should not exist.
I think you said it. Mad Dog, Buford Tannen, he lives in a world where you can be an asshole. Alt 85 Biff created the world he could be an asshole. And I think that just carries a little more weight. We have our second 1 seed moving on here. Alt 85 Biff. He's unhinged. He's a problem. And he hates you. And if he hates you, he's going to kill you.
Or grape you.
All right, James. That's 2 1 seeds. Briggs and Alt 85 Biff who have moved on. Let's see if that is going to carry over here into the dipshit brackets where we have a 1 seed versus 2 seed. We have the Mac matchup. We have the Mac matchup.
The Mac off.
We have Magruder. We have Mac Daddy. Who's
macking off in the other room?
It's the return of the Mac, baby. Let's do this. Obviously, Magruder, he was more than just a henchman. He, like you said, he's a little bit like the Freddy Krueger O-Dog matchup. He liked to see the pain in the people's eyes. He got into that line of work because he liked it. And then we have Mac Daddy.
Wild card.
We originally thought we didn't know his intention, but we do, actually. We know he's a piece of shit, and he plays it off as he's not. And again, the whole grabbing the officer's gun and then getting scared. So because we know he has intention, I want to say he didn't accidentally shoot the gun. Could we just kind of say that out loud? Was that a crazy thing to say? I don't know.
I have a mind versus heart debacle as well. Mind says Magruder, heart says Mac Daddy. Because I don't know what Mac Daddy's capable of. I do know what Magruder's capable of.
Would Magruder take an officer's gun and fire it in front of the officers? Or is he a little too strategic? Does he care a little too much about the image for that?
He would do it in front of Inuits, because that literally happened in the movie. But in front of cops, I'm not sure. I think the other thing is that just like Jesse Pinkman said, Mac Daddy, he can't keep getting away with this because he got citizenship after he shot at cops and drove off in a pink convertible Cadillac.
They let him drive and he just took the keys to the car and said, good, and took off.
Magruder got a helicopter blade to the face and then died. So he kind of got what he deserved. Mac Daddy is
at large.
I think it's the fact that he got away with it. Yeah, he's at large.
Yeah.
Mac Daddy, he's moving on.
It's Mac Daddy. It was always Mac Daddy.
The last division for round 2, we have a very interesting one here. This is our first one that is not involving a 1 or a 2 seed. We have a 3 seed Debbie versus a 4 seed Chop Shop guy. Couple ratio characters, very questionable decisions, very cowardly acts. The Chop Shop guy, human trafficking, not good. Debbie, not loving her husband after becoming a rock superhero and just publicly embarrassing him, also not good. This one's a toss-up for me, my friend.
James, this is a hard one, and I'm trying to think to myself, if I knew these two people, who would I most likely want to befriend? A person who broke off their engagement because they're too shallow? Or someone who said, yeah, I'll help you sell human beings? And James, in my head, I think the Cinderella story continues.
I think you've convinced me. Chop Shop guy, you son of a bitch. He was our lowest rated. So he's the 4 seed on the cowards, but out of the top 16, he was 16. Holy smoke-a-roonies here, buddy.
I think what you mentioned was true here, James. I think it's a ratio. Like he just popped up in the movie, said, hey, you got a van full of immigrants? I got you.
Wow. Okay. Chop Shop guy is on an insane run, Nick. Let's see if he can continue that because we have round 3. It's going to be the lead coward of Chop Shop guy versus the lead asshole of Alt 85, Biffaroony. Nick, my mind,
It's a hard one.
my heart says that I think the Cinderella run, albeit very exciting, like Linsanity, has come to an end.
Yeah, this is Steph Curry at Davidson getting himself into that, Elite Eight, and then just not having enough juice, to overtake the top dog. Honestly, I think in a world, Chop Shop Guy works for all 85 Biff, and all 85 Biff is directing Chop Shop Guy, and that's what makes him the bigger piece of shit. I think all 85 Biff is sort of walking his way, has not really had the competition he needed to get knocked out, but he is that strong of a candidate.
Chop Shop Guy is a Chop Shop Guy because of guys like Biff Tannen.
And James, on our other side of the bracket, we have two people who are not as dangerous, but James, they carry their weight in shittiness. And that is our number 1 seed of the Psychopaths division, Briggs from Street Racer, and number 2 out of the dipshits, we have the Mac Daddy, the Mac himself. And James, these are two folks that, man, one is outwardly intentional in Briggs. Mac Daddy, he is secretly intentional. Mac Daddy's still at large. Briggs did get run over violently.
We think he died. I think he died.
He never faced the music, really. He was threatening a sick kid in the hospital, or we think it was a hospital. It was kind of just like an urgent care room. I think that was all they had for location.
It was filmed at an urgent care, but it was supposed to be physical therapy. Yeah, it was a kid who got crippled by a street race, and Briggs said, "You know what? I'm gonna threaten this kid and his very innocent, pleasant older sister that Johnny has a crush on, and I'm gonna punch Johnny in the gut because he didn't do the race I wanted him to do. And I'm going to force all my parolees to do all the things that got him in jail so that they can do a side hustle and I get a cut of it."
He basically said, "Hey, Johnny, why don't you race?"
Hey, Johnny, why don't you race? You fucking faggot!
And, I mean, it's a question we all have to ask ourselves.
Yeah, Johnny got that question a lot, and I don't think he ever clearly answered it. And I think it's because his mind was scrambled by the insane person of Briggs.
The more we talk about it, I think it is Briggs.
It has to be Briggs.
It has to be Briggs. Mac Daddy, great run here. Put up a hell of a fight. I think Briggs won in overtime here. I'm really bringing out the March Madness references.
No, this is the color commentary the podcast needs. So yes, please continue. Because Nick, we have a classic matchup of the number 1 psycho going up against the number 1 asshole in the championship round. We got Briggs and we got Alt Biff.
It couldn't go any other way.
We got to settle it once and for all. Who is more damaging?
Yeah, I here's my case.
Give me the case.
85 Biff became this way because of money and power. Briggs didn't need that much money or power. This is just who he is. He's just a parole officer.
He's happy.
He's not like
he's happy to operate with the power he has. He's like, I'll do whatever I want.
We saw what happened to Biff when he didn't have the almanac, the sports almanac. Right? He was just a normal person. He got changed. Briggs was built this way. This is who Briggs is in his heart. He got the power of a parole officer and says, I'm doing this. I will be corrupt as possible because this is who I am.
Briggs is a guy with a grind set. He's like, no matter what hand I'm dealt, I'm being the shittiest person in the room.
He is, James. And I think there's just something to be said for that.
I think there is. And that thing to say is that parole officer Briggs from the very unwatched movie called Street Racer from 2008 is the biggest piece of shit for the Just Play It podcast for the year of 2025.
And you will race. Because one call from me and this office with my trusted word, and you will be right back in the can where you belong, being somebody's bitch.
They come out of nowhere. They come from movies you just don't expect, and they just win the brackets.
They just win. We're going to keep that winning attitude going here because, Nick, it is now time for the Poppys and the Cornys. This is not the mini pops like we do at the end of each episode when we make these nominees. It's not the best of the movie. It's the best of the best. And Nick, we're going to start out this portion with some fan polls. And now you were saying earlier, if you want to be part of these fan polls, it's a very small window because we throw them up on our Instagram page and we put them up on our YouTube page. So you got to make sure you're following us at Just Play It Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, aka X, at Just Play It Pod. The fan polls we threw up were the best soundtrack, hunk of the year, smoke show of the year, and the best Photoshop poster that we created to celebrate the movie that we were reviewing for that episode. And we're going to start out with the best soundtrack. Nick, our nominees were Back to the Future, Menace to Society, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, and The Lost Boys. And coming in at a convincing 39%, we have our winner. It is Don't Take Money, Don't Take Fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. Back to the Future, baby. That's the best fan-voted soundtrack in a movie we watched for the year of 2025.
Hell yeah. James, next category here, hunk of the year. And our nominees are Terrence Howard, man, Chris Evans from Fantastic Four, Diego Luna from Rogue One, and Don Johnson from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. And James, this one was convincing. This is Don Johnson all day, every day. The Marlboro Man himself is our hunk of the year in 2025.
That kind of came out of nowhere. So actually, I voted for Don Johnson because I was like, look at that. Look at Don Johnson. He's looking handsome as hell. You voted for him, I'm seeing. I was thinking, maybe Chris Evans, maybe Diego Luna could be a sleeper. Terrence Howard got no votes. That's rough. I'm sorry, man.
Sorry, man.
I'm sorry, man. I try to pick flattering photos too. So ideally, you want to get a photo from the movie. But if there's not a good photo from the movie, you just get like a red carpet headshot. I got a red carpet headshot for Terrence Howard. He was looking great. I thought he might have been another sleeper selection. But no, nobody liked Terrence Howard. But everybody loved Don Johnson. God damn. Where'd he go? He is the Hollywood hunk of the year.
Well deserved.
Our next fan voted category is going to be the silver screen smoke show of the year. Yeah, baby. We had our nominees of Jessica Alba from Fantastic Four, 2005. We had Janet Jackson from the movie Poetic Justice. We had Olivia Wilde from In Time. And we also had Adria Arjona from Morbius. And Nick, this was a close one. This was a lot of votes here. This could have been anyone's game here. But man, my queen, my wife, besides my real life wife, is the winner. It is Adria Arjona from Morbius with a very small margin of 37%. Nick, who is Linda?
This is my aunt.
All right, your aunt went for the OGs. She picked Janet Jackson. I was like, all right, she's representing her era. Nick, I saw that you were representing our era of Jessica Alba, but I am representing the now era, which is Adria Arjona, because she is our smoke show of the year. Thanks, Morbius. The only good thing you did.
The future is now. And James, my personal favorite poll that we have here is JPI Poster of the Year. James, this is the hard work that you do for every episode. You put a movie poster out with our faces in them, and I love them. And man, all of these could have been nominees, but we had to pick the best four. And our nominees for Poster of the Year was Fantastic Four, Poetic Justice, Mac and Me, and The Lost Boys. And James, this one was overwhelming. I voted for this one. You voted for this one. The majority of folks voted for this one. This is Mac and Me. James, throw it up on the screen right now so everyone can see it on the YouTubes. It's wonderful. It deserved it. Mac and Me, JPI, Poster of the Year.
It was my favorite from the jump. It was the one I was most proud of because sometimes I'm very late to the game. I just got to get the episode out. I'll do a very shoddy face swap on a poster and it's whatever. If I can, I'll use real pictures of us, but we obviously don't take a lot of photos where we have movie poster faces, where we're looking off into the distance pensively, or we're looking epic, or the lighting's insane, or we're smoothed over. We got like AI makeup on. So a lot of our headshots are actually created by AI. And the 2 headshots I got, the lighting matched perfectly. Our eye lines matched perfectly. I was able to use the replicate tool on Photoshop to keep the suburban street going so I can extend it over to add my head. And I was like, this is looking clean. And it's actually working. A lot of times I'll throw our names in there. And it's usually like, Arial or just impact font, something very generic.
Yeah.
But I found a font that looked like the Mac and Me font, and I added it. It was James and Nick and Mac and me. And oh boy, I was proud of that one. And I'm happy to see this boy win.
Deserved. Well deserved.
Folks, we just want to thank you guys. Thank you to the fans for coming up, showing for election day. Your vote counts. This is important stuff. And I think you guys made great selections here. So, Nick, it is now time to move on to the next segment of the Cornys and the Poppies. It's going to be not our final, say, officially Crescent categories, but they're just fun topics to bring up. We're going to talk about the best scenes, the most offensive scenes, the best titles for a movie, the worst titles for a movie, best and worst visual effects. Let's start out with the best scene that we saw in a movie. And Nick, I called this out during this review. My nominee for the best scene that I saw in a movie all year was the wormhole chase from the Fantastic Four First Steps. This is when Shia LaBeouf, Silver Surfer, was chasing down the Excelsior ship with the Fantastic Four in it. Great music scores, great action sequence, great emotional swells in the music. It was my favorite thing I saw in a small compacted sequence all year. How about you?
Yeah, James, for me, this was Nope. This was writing Lucky away from Jean Jacket. I called it out in our review on that one, how well I thought that was done. I loved that scene. Thought it was great. It really helped make the movie for me for what was a fantastic movie already.
I think that's a great movie that has a bunch of scenes that could have been a personal best.
James, it's now time to go the exact opposite direction. Now we have our most offensive scene of the year, the scene that we hated. It could have even been from a good movie that was just awful. There was just something about this scene that just made us cringe and hate it. So James, you're up first. Let me hear your most offensive scene.
Easy pickings here, Nick. The most offensive scene I saw all year was when Steven Seagal told me to stop polluting the Earth.
Quest.
Not the Vision Quest.
Oh, sorry.
It was when Steven Seagal told me to stop polluting the earth at the end of an action movie where he was causing many deaths and explosions. And I'm not being facetious. That's literally the log line on IMDb. That's my most offensive scene. Nick, how about yourself?
James, I'm sorry I got too excited there because I'm coming from the same movie. But for me, it was his Inuit Vision Quest that he went on. We called it out in the review. It was, it's just, the whole movie could just be one big offensive scene as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
We'll just say On Deadly Ground wins the most offensive scene of the year.
Nick, it's no surprise that the most offensive scene comes from one of the lowlights of the year, which is the only Steven Seagal movie I think I've actually ever seen, On Deadly Ground. Oof.
Well, James, it's now time for our next best worst, and this is going to be for movie title. We'll have our best movie title first. I'm going to go, and James, this is a movie title I just loved from the start, and for me, this is going to be Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, because they did not get the rights to use either, and they just said, screw it, we're using both of them.
This one was tough, because we did have a lot of best titles of the year, and for the folks listening, this has nothing to do with the movie. This is just from a title alone. You're looking at a list of movies and you're like, what is that about? That sounds awesome. But Nick, I had a lot of trouble here. I had a top 3, and I think I'm just going to blurt out a top 1. And it's going to be Big Trouble in Little China. I think that's a super cool title. Gets me interested, gets me excited. The other ones I had were Back to the Future, amazing title, and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Very distinctive, those are ones that just draw you in. They're unique, but man, Big Trouble in Little China, I think, is a great title.
That was number 2 for me. Number 3 was Nope, just for the simplicity. I thought it was genius.
Nick, it's now time for the most offensive movie title. And I want to hear what you're thinking. What was the worst movie title of the year?
James, I think I was stuck between two, and I'll tell you my winner, and then I'll tell you my follow up here. But as far as I'm concerned, the worst title of the year was On Deadly Ground. What are we talking about? What about the ground was dead? Like he blew stuff up, and then we were going through the Alaskan. But I would have expected On Deadly Ground to be maybe like a martial arts movie where the ground you're standing on, you're fighting for. It was weird.
Well, remember, it's got nothing to do with how the movie actually was. It was just the title itself.
Yeah, I thought it was a hardo title. It's like On Deadly Ground. It's like there was nothing like what are you talking about? It's if you said, hey, who starred in the movie On Deadly Ground, I would have picked Steven Seagal out of a million actors. It's just too on the nose for him. It's like, this is stupid. My second one was Poetic Justice because it just had there was no justice served. The character's name is Justice. Like, congrats, good job. Move on.
Now, I think you're coming at it from an angle where you know what happens in the movie. Because, yeah, Poetic Justice, if we're doing it in the context of the movie versus the title, makes zero sense. Like, it makes zero sense. Like, the main character's name is Justice.
On Deadly Ground is dumb as fuck, regardless of what the movie's about.
Yeah, it could be cool, but it's not. But Poetic Justice, you're thinking, oh, is right being wronged in a poetic way, for lack of better words? No, the main character's name is Justice, and she writes poetry. Nick, my worst title of the year, this is an easy one for me. It is Street Racer. That is a fake name. That's a movie title that the studio would use to camouflage the actual title for location permits, for the slate that they do. You know, they'll usually do like a fake ass name for a big Marvel movie or Star Wars. Street Racer is, I mean, that whole studio, their whole mantra is just, we're going to go out and copy movies and have no shame about it. What's the movie about? Street racing. What's the title? Street Racer. Wow.
It's lazy. They were trying to capitalize on Speed Racer coming out that same year.
Which has nothing to do with street racing.
It's got nothing.
It's like fantastical. It's like fantasy. Yeah.
And I know that we're not allowed to take it into account, James, but you called this out in the episode. The poster lies. It's a big lie of a poster.
Lies.
It says at 130 miles per hour, you're never more alive or closer to dead. And then it shows a Mustang and a GTR.
Which was not in the movie.
Slamming down the LA highway. And you're going,
not in the movie.
Whoa. And then it also says based on true events.
Yep.
My guy, everything about this movie offends, and I think this is a great choice for you.
If we had a worst poster nom, I would also do this one because it's a straight up lie. The audacity of this movie is
everything about it is audacious.
Is incredible. Speaking of incredible, we're going to move on to our next category, which is going to be the best and worst CGI or visual effects. Starting out with the best, Nick, I got to throw my nom out to the Fantastic Four First Steps.
We went over this, I believe, with Furiosa as well, a 2025 movie. It just is what it is. I did try to go a little different because I figured that's kind of a layup, and I want the harder one.
Sure is.
And I went ahead and also gave a shout out to Nope for me. I thought it was really, really well done with the style that they were going for. It wasn't overly stylistic, and they still really pulled off. And I think the stories you told during that podcast of how they used the infrared camera for the night shots and just knowing everything that went into that really gave it a little bit of a bump up, knowing that it wasn't fully, no offense to Marvel, but like a green screen set, and knowing that they were really doing some things out there. I think I wanted to give it a shout out on the CGI visual effects.
Morbius, you could have did it, but you didn't. Even the Fantastic Four movies from the 2000s were not that bad. And Back to the Future did some cool stuff, especially with the hoverboards. We really like those. But there was some dated stuff in there.
And I think we usually give a little bit of leeway to older movies who are doing some cooler things. But James, now it's time to not give any leeway, because here it is, our most offensive visual effects / CGI. Just like, they weren't even trying. It was awful. And it's dated. It's crappy. It basically takes you out of the movie mode. It's that
we
bad.
have to have the same one. We have to have the
James,
same one.
Let me hear it.
For me, it's the Fantastic Four in 1994 that was unreleased. And
it has to be.
You were given $1 million to do an impossible job. It is not your fault. You're working with the resources you have. But man, we were saying it in that episode when Johnny Storm is fighting the laser that is going towards New York. It is completely misplaced from the movie. I said it. It looks like it's from a Hanna-Barbera cartoon with very limited budget on how many illustrated frames you can have, because it looks like it's from a completely different property. The stretchy arm out of the limo at the end.
Oh, the crew hated it. The crew hated it.
Was hyperly practical. However, it was the thing that sucks and it's tough for this movie is that it had horrible practical effects and atrocious CGI effects.
Like, it was just a hard watch. Like, there's sometimes you don't even know what's happening. There's just effects happening. You're going, oh. And they made the whole sets, their whole like computerized sets. They're like, oh, we just painted over some cardboard that was used for another movie. You're like, damn, dude. This is tough.
It was tough. It was tough to swallow. What's also tough to swallow, Nick, it's going to be the people that passed away this year. And we're not focusing on everybody. This is something that we decided we should start doing during the wrap party. And it's going to be our in memoriam, because just like the Oscars, they always have the sad music and the black and white photos of all the people who worked in Hollywood who passed away. But Nick, we're going to focus solely on our near and dear friends of the show. When you are in a movie that we watch, you are a friend of the show.
These are from projects that we enjoyed this year, and some of them extended to projects from previous years too. And the biggest one from the news, I think we're all aware of, Julian McMahon, our Victor Von Doom from Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Great talent. Was a very sad news hearing that he passed away.
Yeah, and it hit extra hard because we watched those movies this year, and then he passed away this year.
Also from the movie we watched this year, James, Peter Kwong, who was Rain, one of the three storms in Big Trouble in Little China.
Rest in peace.
Sadly passed away. James, a legend in the industry, as I did my research, Leslie Les Dilly, the art director from Raiders of the Lost Ark. James, this one made me very sad. Drew Struzan. He is the poster artist and illustrator for movie posters, and his movies include the whole Back to the Future franchise, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and Crystal Skull,
Ooh.
And The Thing.
Oh,
he was the poster artist.
That's some great posters
on all of those movies.
The Thing poster alone.
James, next up we have Richard Norton. He was in Fury Road and Furiosa as the Prime Imperator. He also did a lot of stunt and fight work. He was a fight coordinator on Furiosa. And then we also have Rami Huberger. He's from Schindler's List. He represents a real historical figure, played Joseph Bao. And James, I'll wrap it up with one of the sadder ones, I think, who was a friend of the show, will forever be a friend of the show, lives in our hearts, and that is our friend Michael Madsen.
Great character actor, always showed up in projects. He was in War Games, he was in Free Willy. I'm sure as we watch more movies, we're going to see him a ton, and we're going to think of him. That's what we do. We make friends of the show, recognized, unrecognized. Nick, thank you for laying out the in memoriam for our friends of the show that go beyond people that are on screen. I love that you brought up people that should get their flowers behind the scenes. That was beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course.
And Nick, we continue the award section with our cornies, our poppies, with our definitive awards. And we're going to start out with a hot one here. It's going to be the worst director.
Oh boy, James, worst director, one of our favorites. We love to hate the guy in the chair when they do a bad job because it's like you can watch a football team play and you can say the quarterback sucks, but really it's that head coach. It's that head coach who's not putting his guys in a position to win, who's taking over the team, taking over the spotlight, and really inserting themselves too much. So let's look at our list of 4 here. James, at number 1, we have a personal favorite of mine to hate, Paul Haggis, who directed Crash. We have Tim Story from Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. We have David Jackson, Return to Halloween Town. Hey, why'd you replace Marnie, you dick? And then we have Steven Seagal from On Deadly Ground. And if you've paid attention for the last 30 minutes to this podcast, I think you know where our head's at here, buddy.
We don't like this movie.
We don't like this movie at all. James, it is Steven Seagal. Don't like it at all. It can fall. And I'm going to go to the mall and tell you I hate this fucking movie. Steven Seagal, you are the worst director of 2025 on Just Play It podcast.
Move this man!
You suck, you jackass.
Yeah, this really was a 1A versus 1B, as you would say, of Paul Haggis versus Steven Seagal. Both have ego problems. But as far as your job, as far as judging the performance of the job of the guy in the chair, Steven Seagal, just the audacity, thinking he can jump up in that director's chair, do a bang up job, and everyone's going to love it. No, we hated it. You were preachy. You had your ego there. You physically hurt your crew. That was the seal deal for me. You are responsible for everybody. You're responsible for the performance of everybody, the safety of everybody, the overall performance of this movie, the reputation of this movie, the reputation of directors. And I think that's when someone's handed a highly authoritative role that has a lot of responsibility and you just disrespect it. You piss on the job, you piss on the craft, and you pissed all over this movie, which squirted out of my TV screen and pissed on my face.
We all got pissed on. That's the problem.
This was on
pissed on.
This was on pissy ground.
Going back to the sports reference here, you know, you were the head coach and you decided to also be the play caller and the quarterback and the announcer, and you just put yourself in there as a big ego trip, and you deserve this one, man. You deserve this one. But Paul Haggis, you don't get out of here without me telling you, suck it. But Steven Seagal, worst director of 2025 for the Just Play It podcast.
We really thought Paul Haggis was an episode 3 walk away with this, but Steven Seagal came in and just thought he could do it, and he couldn't. Our next award, the Poppy for the best yeet. This is a good one. We had some great yeets.
This is the best season for yeets thus far.
This was a yeet heavy season. Nick, the nominees are going to be Jimmy the Doorman from Fantastic Four 2005. Next up is going to be another Fantastic Four movie. It's actually going to be from the sequel to Fantastic Four. It's going to be from Rise of Silver Surfer. It is the Ben Grimm Batter Up Yeet. This is when Ben Grimm jumps up in a crane, takes control of a crane, and swings a 30-ton metal beam about 90 miles an hour and knocks Dr. Doom off a surfboard. Nick, our third nominee is Mickey's Milkshake, a favorite, a fan favorite, a podcast favorite. Let's be honest. This is from the straight-to-video movie Street Racer. Mickey yells a homophobic slur and throws it at the main character, which was hyperly personal. Nick, our last nominee was Galactus's reverse crane yeet. We call it the reverse crane because Ben Grimm and Silver Surfer used a crane to yeet Doom. However, in First Steps, Ben Grimm, the Thing, takes a crane, swings it at Galactus. Galactus says, "Nuh-uh, little buddy. You're looking like a piece of gravel down there, you little young pebble." And he takes the crane, which has Ben Grimm still holding onto it, and he yeets the hell out of Ben Grimm into frickin' space. By far the most impressive distance yeet. But Nick, there can only be one best yeet of the year. For 2025, the best yeet is from Rise of Silver Surfer, the Ben Grimm Batter Up Yeet. My goodness, this was impressive. Just the skill not even the thing. This was Ben Grimm. This was Michael Chiklis as a regular bald guy in China climbing up this 30-story crane. That was a tall ladder. He got up there, stole the keys, knew there was a metal beam attached, and with pinpoint accuracy, just smacks Dr. Doom. And he is smacked into a river. And that ends his life. That ends the on-screen appearance from the Tim Story Dr. Doom. That's the last we see of him.
There's a lot of questions about that yeet. Like you said, how did he get up that crane so fast? How does he know to operate a crane like that, let alone a Chinese crane? Who knows the differences there? And then 3, how do you get a crane to move that fast? They're not supposed to move fast enough to swing a metal I-beam at 90 miles an hour through the air. But Michael Chiklis figures it out, and I think that's what makes the YEET so special is you go, that's not happening because that's not possible. And Michael Chiklis says, hey, idiot, I'm Ben Grimm, and I can make cranes do what I want. You know, we expect it out of Galactus. We expect it out of Mickey. We even expect it out of Doom. But the non-thinged Michael Chiklis just swinging a crane at 150 mile an hour crane speed.
It was insane.
And just whipping an I-beam.
It was insane.
I still think about it. I still think about it.
Ended Doom's life. And that's going to be the YEET of the year for 2025.
Well-deserved YEET, James. And now let's get into the most valuable character for Just Play It podcast in 2025. And James, our 4 nominees this year are Doc Brown from Back to the Future, the original, 1985. We have Ben Grimm, the Yeeter himself from Fantastic Four 2005. We have Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four First Steps. And we have OJ from Nope. And James, I don't think it's that much of a surprise. This is our guy, Doc Brown. He's just about as good as it can get.
Very iconic, very important to the story. And I think that's what it boils down to. When we talk about NPCs, we talk about, oh, they're such a great person or they're such a well-written character. But just the importance, the symbolism, the iconicness alone. Doc Brown, he was your nominee for MVC, I think, for all of the Back to the Future movies. So that's how impressionable this character is. And that's an attribute to the creation of it, the character design, the performance by Christopher Lloyd. This was a very hard decision. We had a lot of great characters and characters that were done right, finally. Characters where the story just doesn't work without them. Surprising sleeper characters in a surprisingly sleeper movie. But I think what it comes down to is a character that influences generations of generations of generations. For generations. It's easy. The winner's Doc Brown.
And you deserve it, my friend.
All right, Nick. It is now time for my favorite part of the rap party. This is exactly the thing. I see you're just bringing out the whiskey, so shit, I'll refill, man.
I mean, if we're spinning the wheel,
I've splurged on some Hibiki Japanese whiskey. Don't tell my wife how much I spent at the store. Don't you dare Google it on your phone as we listen to this on a car ride. Stop it. Put the phone down. Emily, stop it. But Nick, this is my baby. This is the thing I created last year, and it is what drives me to do this podcast because, Nick, it's now time to enter the CINEDOME. Our fighters tournament, and we do this ridiculous thing where we take all of the best fighters from all the movies we watched and we put them in this insane, ridiculous situation of a 1v1 at random. It's not ranked. We did rank them because we want to make sure we have a clear number one and everyone gets their flowers and we know what's fair is fair, and that's all good. But this is what this podcast is about. We want to introduce a little chaos. Chaos.
watch everyone lose their minds.
And that's called the CINEDOME. We put weapons in their hands, which are from the movies we watched. They're the best weapons. So, Nick, I'm going to get into what the rules are, how this is going to work. For 2025, we have 28 fighters. We have 25 weapons. This is all bust the deal, spin the wheel style. First round, top 4 fighters. They're on a bye. They're too powerful. We're going to save them for later. So that is going to be Freddy Krueger, Darth Vader, Sue Storm from First Steps, and Dr. Doom from Fantastic Four, 2005.
Checks out.
If you missed the pregame episode, this is where we did our tier list. We ranked all these guys. So that's the 1 through 4. Our 5th through 28th fighters are in for round 1. So 24 fighters in total, which means we're going to have 12 matchups. Now for the weapons, the top 3 weapons are going to get a bye because they're too powerful. So that's going to be Galactus's world ship, the Death Star, and Dr. Doom's space laser from the unreleased 1994 Fantastic Four. The 4th through 25th weapons are in. 24 fighters in total, 22 weapons in total, 12 matchups. However, only 3 of those matchups are not going to feature weapons because they're a fair enough fight, and we want to make sure all weapons get their time to shine till the very end. 9 matches are going to feature weapons, and how that works is whoever is the lower ranked fighter is going to get a weapon. And what weapon is it going to be? Well, again, that's all at the fate and mercy of the all magical wheel that we spin.
It's the wheel.
Nick, what do we say around here about wheels?
If you break the deal, James, you got to spin the wheel.
Bust the deal, face the wheel.
We don't make the rules around here.
That was Thunderdome. And this is the CINEDOME. We are going to have 12 fighters by the end of this round, and we're going to have 16 weapons left. Are you ready to get this started?
Hit me, baby.
So I have already deciphered all of the first round matchups. I have the weapons ready, the fighters ready. And then once round 1's over, this is all live. Then I have to add it to the wheel, respin it. We're doing it live. It's crazy. Nick, round 1, fight 1. We have our 23rd ranked fighter, who is O-Dog from Menace to Society.
Ooh.
He is a street level guy on our tier list, and he's going to be going up against Will Salas, who I think we put as a skilled fighter at number 17. O-Dog here, he is going to be our underdog of the situation, which means he's going to get the weapon. Now, as a reminder, if you pull a weapon from your movie, you do get a damage multiplier. All right. The odds are slim.
Yeah.
Odds are very slim for that. But let's see what O-Dog can pull. Nick, O-Dog for a weapon to fight off against the apparent James Bond-ness of Justin Timberlake's Will Salas from the movie In Time. He's going to be given the pistol that killed Q-Tip from Poetic Justice.
Yeah, James, I'll be honest with you.
Nick, hold on. Hold your fucking horses here. Hold your fucking horses. Because I got a surprise up my sleeve, baby.
Whoa.
This is called the CINEDOME because we imagined it as a Thunderdome type arena from Mad Max. However, I have introduced a variable for this year. Introducing, Nick, arenas. Yes, I'm the wheel man. I have a wheel of fighters, I have a wheel of weapons, and I have a wheel of arenas from the movies that we have watched. So I will have to...
You're a sick son of a bitch, James.
I really am. Because when we were doing it last year, we said, oh, head-to-head, close quarters, this is it, this is that, it's this person. I was like, this is about chaos. So I want to have coverage.
We were being those guys who fight in Smash Brothers and like, you got to be on Final Destination where there's no variables. But you know what, James, in real life,
there's variables.
There's fucking variables. So
there is arenas, there is environments, there is coverage to take, there is rooftops to be on, there is close quarters to be in. So Nick, here it is. So like I said, if you pull a weapon from your movie, you get a damage multiplier. If you pull an environment or an arena from your movie, you get home court advantage. So we'll have to be on the lookout. We'll have to be on the lookout for that. So 28 fighters, 25 weapons, and 27 arenas will be used in the CINEDOME tournament. However, I do have a possible 31 arenas because some of them are too good. So some of them might not be featured, but we have to feature all fighters and all weapons. So Nick, this fight between O-Dog and Will Salas with a pistol in O-Dog's hand, it's going to be happening from the movie Crash at the cul-de-sac where Cameron yelled at the cops.
Ooh. James, I'm going to be honest with you. I would have taken O-Dog without the pistol. I think O-Dog beats the shit out of Will Salas. Cul-de-sac, it just really puts him out in the open. I think this is O-Dog's fight every day of the week.
The movie In Time really painted Justin Timberlake's Will Salas to be a super spy out of nowhere. So by the rules of that movie, we had to rank him high. But O-Dog, don't forget, he's still like 16 or 17, very scrawny. But I thought if this guy has a gun in his hand, he's murdering whoever's across the CINEDOME from him. So Will Salas, you could take cover as much as you want in a cul-de-sac where Cameron yelled at the cops. But I think O-Dog shoots Will Salas dead. And O-Dog moves on to round 2.
Yes, sir.
Next up, fight number 2, round 1, we got Sapphire Sinister with 1P from the movie Return to Halloween Town. This is a college-aged witch ranked number 12. And Nick, she is going to be the top dog in this fight because she's going up against ranked 21st fighter Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. So we have high schooler versus a college kid. You know, Biff Tannen definitely has the size, but he is the underdog because Sapphire Sinister is a witch with powers. Now, what can be put in Biff's hands as a weapon to give him an advantage? This is going to be a damage multiplying Libyan's AK-47 from the movie that Biff Tannen is from. And Nick, this is going down inside Chance Wilder's high-rise downtown LA office. Now,
Wow.
this is interesting. My gut reaction was Biff with an AK-47. But lest we forget, Sapphire Sinister did yeet the snot boy. So can't she yeet Biff out of the window before he gets a shot off? Or what do we think here?
Yeah, because Sapphire Sinister makes a living out of embarrassing other kids, right? So does she have her magical powers?
Well, she has her powers. She has powers.
I don't know how powerful the powers are. Could they stop? I mean, the damage multiplier of the Libyan's AK-47 is...
That's if Biff lands shots. Can he land shots?
I don't think so. I honestly don't. We have a witch, and I think we got to respect that.
Whoa. I thought this was going to be Biff all the way, but I think we're talking ourselves into Sapphire.
I mean, don't you think? She could put him under a spell and have him yeet himself out the window.
Biff's not that smart.
We may have underrated Sapphire Sinister. If she wanted to be malicious, I think we may have underrated the witch.
Nick, it is the season of the witch, and I think Sapphire Sinister is yeeting Biff out of that window. And
yes,
she's too smart. She outwits the Biff. Biff is dead. Biff is dead. He had an AK-47. He couldn't do it.
You don't know what people are going to do when they enter the CINEDOME, and we think Sapphire Sinister might just snap and turn pretty lethal here.
Oh my God, Sapphire. I am shocked.
Me too, because my first reaction was this is Biff's fight, but oof. Okay.
Well, Nick, we have a similar situation here. We have a fantastical person and somebody from a Back to the Future movie because our third matchup is going to be ranked 22nd fighter Marty McFly. And he's going up against a superhero, albeit one of the weaker ones. It is Mr. Fantastic from the unreleased Fantastic Four movie. During that episode, we didn't reveal who the best fighter was. So now the secret's out because our whole deal was that we wanted to have every single member of the Fantastic Four represented in the CINEDOME. So we took one character from each of the movies of the four. So some of them are wild cards and some of them are the best fighters. So Mr. Fantastic, the lamest version, I think, of Reed Richards we saw on screen. He was clowning our little Dr. Doom with stretchy punches on a balcony. Nick, Marty McFly being the underdog, he does get a weapon. Now you're thinking, God, please don't be the 2-foot marmot statue. Please don't be the wooden stake. Please give Marty a chance. I'm begging for Marty to have a chance.
I'm begging for it.
I think he does because he gets the too short shotty from Menace to Society. Marty with a shotgun, everybody. And Nick, this is going to be our first home court advantage for Marty McFly because this is going down on the rooftop of Biff's Pleasure Paradise Casino.
We never saw what would happen with a shotgun slug.
Does he shoot off Mr. Fantastic's hand as it stretches out to him? It's got a good spread.
Does a shotgun shell rip through Mr. Fantastic, or does it like stretch him backwards? I'm not sure we know the answer to that, but because I want him out of the tournament, I think home court advantage with a shotgun, Marty McFly. I feel like I have to give Marty the advantage here to 1994's Mr. Fantastic. If this was Mr. Fantastic from a later one,
right?
Yeah.
Now, Nick, we can always call New York. We can always hit up Secaucus, aka ChatGPT, which I'm leaning Marty, but I just want to know, Is the 1994 Mr. Fantastic immune to bullets? Is he bulletproof, or can he be shot by bullets?
Do you want me to plug this in?
I want you to plug it in. I want to see what ChatGPT has to say about this, because that's always funny.
Would Mr. Fantastic from the 1994 film win in a fight against Marty McFly if Marty had a shotgun on the roof of Biff's Paradise? Here's the movie logic breakdown. Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards in the 1994 movie has superhuman elasticity. Bullets don't work like on a normal body. Body reshaping on instinct under threat. Marty has a shotgun, in quote or in parentheses, a serious threat to humans. The fight scenario. Oh, it gives us a fight scenario for 3 rounds. Round 1, the shot. Marty fires first. A shotgun blast would tear through brick glass signage, but not Reed Richards. Round 2, the reach problem. This is where Reed wins. From one corner of the rooftop, Reed stretches his arm 30 to 50 feet, grabs Marty by the ankle, wrist, or chest, pins him to the ground instantly. Shotgun or not, Marty can't reload fast enough. He can't outrun reach. He can't aim at something that changes shape in midair. Could Marty win with perfect conditions? This is a really long fucking answer, by the way.
Seriously, this is too much.
Only in one case, if Marty ambushed Reed before Reed knew what he was facing and fired point blank and Reed didn't react in time.
There it is. That's it.
I think that's where home court advantage comes in.
Home court advantage, and Marty, as we saw in Back to the Future Part 2, who we voted as the best fighter. It's not Marty McFly as a franchise. Specifically, I said Part 2 because of how agile he was, how much of a ninja he was, and he snuck around the 1955 flashback. He snuck around his old self.
Yeah.
And nobody saw him. So I'm thinking he's sneaking on the roof. Like you said, the last second, I thought ChatGPT was going to fucking ruin this.
John Wilkes Booths him.
Sorry. Home court advantage. Marty moves on. You're dead, Mr. Fantastic. Get fucked.
With no home court advantage, yeah, I can see where this would go wrong. That mattered in this matchup.
That was huge. That was huge for Marty. Speaking of huge, I got a marquee matchup here. If we had just a 40-person pool of fighters, I would love to see these guys later, but we're getting them early. Because from the movie Nope, we have our 18th ranked fighter of Gordy, the chimpanzee. He is the underdog here because he's going up against number 13th ranked Steven Seagal's Forrest Taft. Oh. It's a chimpanzee versus Steven Seagal.
Oh boy. It all matters on this weapon. What is Gordy packing?
A vacuum from Mac and Me. Oh boy. And Nick, this fight, the arena, it's going down at the drag races of Street Racer. Yes, as active races are happening. Think Frogger.
I don't think people recognize how strong chimps are. I also don't think people realize how honestly not that good at fighting Steven Seagal is.
But this isn't Steven Seagal. This is Forrest Taft, who in that movie has proven that he cannot be hit in a fight by humans. We never saw him fight a chimp. Saw him fight a bear in his Vision Quest, which was bullshit. True. I think this might be a ChatGPT answer. I think
Gordy would just get distracted by the vacuum, and I think Steven Seagal wins this one. But
I know I want to refer to ChatGPT on this one. I want to see
who would win in a fight between Forrest Taft from On Deadly Ground and Gordy from the movie Nope, armed with the vacuum from Mac and Me
at a street drag race with cars flying by them because Briggs got hit by that Honda S2000 at this location.
How the fight actually plays out. Forrest Taft expects a man with a gun or a knife or fist. Instead, he gets a screaming, charging feral animal with a sci-fi vacuum weapon. This alone flips the script. Chimpanzees don't square up. They explode into violence. That's what ChatGPT says. If Gordy closes the distance, bites to the face and neck, fingers and ears targeted, grappling strength, Taft isn't built to overpower. Even elite martial arts do not prepare you for an animal trying to tear your face off. Round 3, the vacuum changes everything. This is a real game changer.
Okay, I didn't know the vacuum was coming into play.
If Gordy catches Taft in suction, the fight is effectively over. Taft can't get leverage. He can't close the distance. Can Forrest Taft still win? Yes, but only. Taft's only win condition is an instant lethal strike before Gordy engages, a neck snap / fatal blow in the first few seconds. Otherwise, Gordy overwhelms him. Final verdict, Gordy. Why? Not because Gordy is smarter, not because he's better trained, but because unpredictable animal strength, superhuman grip strength, no fear response, no hesitation, brutal close range combat. Forrest Taft is deadly against humans. Gordy is not human.
Dang, what a bar to drop at the end.
Dude, ChatGPT says it.
I love that. The street races didn't come into effect at all. They were unfazed. They were just dodging the cars, nothing. Gordy moves on. Nick, we got another banger here because we have a fan favorite from the movie Mac and Me. We have Mac Daddy. He is ranked number 9, and he's going to be going up against our best fighter from Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, Chirrut Imwe, ranked 14th. So Chirrut, who is essentially the Daredevil of the Star Wars universe, is going up against
give Chirrut a staff, give Chirrut a staff.
Alien with explosive hands and gun prowess. Knows how to shoot a revolver at cops. But Nick, Chirrut is going to be handed something that's not from his universe, and that's going to be from the movie Crash, a 2004 Lincoln Navigator. And Nick, you might be asking, hey, where's this fight happening? Is the Lincoln Navigator going to have any traction on the ground? Let's see, because this is going down from the movie On Deadly Ground at the Eskimo Village.
But it's a navigator.
It is a navigator, I guess. I mean, it's like a street navigator. It's not like there's snow out there. But Chirrut he's force sensitive. You know, maybe you could throw the navigator. Mac Daddy.
I feel like Mac Daddy he's so used to hot planets, warm planets, a lot of sun. I think that the cold would give him a little like, ugh. And I think Chirrut just doesn't care. I would love to see Chirrut beat Mac Daddy into submission. And I think that's exactly what would happen.
I'm sorry. I'm very curious what ChatGPT has to say.
I feel like we're just doing this for every match.
I'm calling in New York.
ChatGPT's on fire right now.
I don't think we're going to do it for the next one, but I'm very curious.
The battlefield, how the fight plays out. Round 1, detection. Chirrut hears footsteps through the snow, breathing, ice shifting, structural creaks.
Floppy ones.
Mac's dad has no stealth training, leaves obvious tracks, makes clicking and vocal noises. Chirrut already knows where he is. Round 2, the navigator changes everything.
I said that last time.
Once Chirrut gets the vehicle, the alien has no answer to a 2-ton SUV on ice.
Hell yeah.
Snow becomes a road. Huts become paper. The village becomes terrain control. The navigator is a weapon, a shield, a mobility advantage, and a pursuit vehicle.
Hell yeah.
If Mac's dad is hit, he is crushed, launched, pinned, finished. Alien biology does not beat physics.
Get fucked.
Round 3, close quarters, if it happens. Even if Mac's dad survives the vehicle, Chirrut is a specialist in fighting. He fights blind as an advantage, not a handicap. Mac's dad has no combat training, no lethal weapons, no experience against a disciplined fighter. Chirrut would dismantle him methodically. Could the alien win? Only if Mac's dad has some hidden tech, blindsides Curtis at point blank range.
Who's Curtis?
Surprises him before the vehicle comes into play. Even then, Chirrut has beaten overwhelming odds his entire life. Final verdict, Chirrut Imwe. Mac's dad is a survival alien. Chirrut is a warrior monk.
Well, we stay correct, Nick. That is awesome. Okay. Nick, Chirrut moves on to the round 2. Coming up next in round 1, we have our 6th matchup. It's going to be our first duo versus solo. This is a 2v1 because, yes, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man who enter this competition together.
It's a package
deal, ranked 19th together. They are going up, however, against the strongest one in this pool. Since we left out the top 4, that leaves 5th place strongest fighter. It's going to be Chris Evans, Johnny Storm from Fantastic Four. So let's see if Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man can get out of one more shenanigan. The weapon they are gifted with is actually from the Fantastic Four. It's going to be elements, fire, water, rocks, stretchy wind. I don't know. However, they defeated Doom.
Gotcha.
Not looking good for those guys. And Nick, this is actually going to be home court advantage for Johnny because this is happening on the Brooklyn Bridge from Fantastic Four. Don't need ChatGPT to sell this one. I think Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man, I really wanted them to go far in this one, but they're handed elements which they can't control. And even if they had fire and tried to use it against Johnny, he would just go supernova and literally obliterate them on that Brooklyn Bridge.
I mean, Harley Davidson couldn't even shoot a pistol for most of the movie. So elements, forget about it. They're out. It's unfortunate. You just run into a buzzsaw sometimes.
That one was pretty easy. Johnny Storm moves on. R.I.P. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Our hunk of the year is dead. Nick, this next one is going to be pretty fucked up. Number 7, we have Lucky. This is Tupac from the movie Poetic Justice. He's ranked 24th. He's going up against the worst fighter on our list, the biggest punching bag of them all, ranked 28th. We have Noah. He's a 9-year-old child from a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Fuck yeah.
Can Tupac beat up a 9-year-old? Well, let's see what the 9-year-old can pull for a weapon. It's going to be from the movie The Lost Boys, a wooden stake. And Nick, this fight's happening in the sewers where the jeweler hangs out.
This is Lucky's fight all day, every day.
Lucky got very lucky with this matchup.
I don't even think Lucky has to do anything. I think a kid that age who gets wanders into the sewers just dies there anyway. So Lucky can keep his conscience clean on that one.
Lucky moves on. Nick, this next fight is going to be our first of 3 that don't feature a weapon because the matchup's just too close. Because we have 2 skilled fighters, ranked 15th and ranked 16th. We have, from the movie Big Trouble in Little China, Wang Chi, martial artist, versus Sam from Ronin.
Ooh.
He's a gunman, a wheelman. Let's see if the environment's going to come into play here because we know Wang Chi has what I called wire fighting skills, where you are just flying through the air.
Big time.
Big time. This is actually going to be happening on top of a moving train from Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh, so this is actually interesting because I feel like this is the one place Sam might have a little heist advantage at. But I still think Wang Chi, with his wire skills, with his martial arts, I think he just whoops his ass every day of the week.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the best environments for Sam, but I think this is just a tough draw against a very skilled fighter.
Yeah, even if it was in a room, but if it was just the CINEDOME, just a cage, Wang Chi walks away because Sam needs a weapon. If Sam drew a car or a gun, things might be different. But since these guys were literally right next to each other, they were neighbors on the tier list.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
It is what it is. Sorry, Sam. Didn't think you were going far anyway. Good for Wang Chi, though.
Nick, the next one is very captivating. We're going to have a good old-fashioned vamp off because we have 10th, David from the Lost Boys going up against 7th best fighter, Morbius. And I did decide that David needs a weapon in this one. The shitty thing is that he drew the 2-foot marmot statue from Coyote Creek Christmas, which is not made of wood. We deciphered that because Noah was picking it up. If it was made of wood, that would come into play. Vampires don't like styrofoam. Wood. It's like plastic, like some cheap ass resin. Nick, this fight is actually going to be a home court advantage situation because this is going down at the offshore lab on international waters from Morbius. It's Morbin time.
I think it's Morbin time.
Home court advantage or not, weapon or not, I think just the way Sony depicted vampire powers for Morbius, he's way too overpowered. Morbius is kind of a sleeper.
He is wildly overpowered.
The movie really made him powerful. The speed alone, just being able to watch bullets whiz past you like you're in the Matrix, is insane.
Sony, unfortunately, does a disservice. Like you said to him, they do a disservice to a lot of the quote unquote heroes. I know Morbius isn't He's kind of the anti-hero, but they just don't have the budget to really make him as cool as he is. But they did a good job of showing that he's a problem. So he's moving on, and God forbid that somebody else has to fight him in the next round. Prayers for Tupac, if that's him.
I just think Morbius wipes the floor with David. Just the vampire showcase of powers of between those two movies, two drastically different movies.
Yeah. He's going to be like, oh, your noodles are worms. And Morbius is just going to rip him. He's just going to morb on him.
Slash his throat open. Yep, he's morbid. He's morbid.
He's morbid.
Nick, number 10 is going to be our second fight that doesn't have any weapons. It's actually going to be characters from the same universe because we have our 8th best fighter versus our 6th best fighter.
Ooh.
It's going to be the Silver Surfer versus the Thing. This is Michael Chiklis's The Thing. This is this era Thing, his strength, and this is the Silver Surfer from Rise of the Silver Surfer. By that movie's canon, he doesn't have a lot of power if he doesn't have his surfboard.
So he doesn't have surfboard.
Doesn't have surfboard.
Because that's a weapon, right?
In Rise of Silver Surfer, the Silver Surfboard is a weapon, even though canonically in the comic books, it is not a weapon. It can't be separated from the Silver Surfer. But in this movie, they decided that's a plot point, and Dr. Doom's going to steal it and surf away to China and get hit by a metal beam. So, Nick, you want to know where this fight's going down? Maybe someone's got home court advantage. Not really, because they're from the same universe.
Yeah, let me know.
3 words. Hallmark glory hole. It's happening at the library.
At Coyote Creek? I think the Thing's just going to bust through this glory hole and just put down the Silver Surfer from 2007's Rise of the Silver Surfer. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the surfboard. With the surfboard, obviously,
different
Silver
story.
Surfer is top tier. But unfortunately, without a surfboard in that movie, he was a bitch. The U.S. government took him down. Humans unchromed him and took him down.
Yeah, he became not shiny and dull and lame. And he's like, my name's Norin. Rad.
I'm Norin and I don't have my surfboard. It's like, yeah, of course you're going to get your ass kicked.
I'm Norin and I'm snoring. Boring. The Thing moves on. Nick, coming up on our last 2 fights here of round 1, we have a wild card from Mac and me. I don't know why I put this guy in, but he's ranked 25th. This is Ronald McDonald coming in.
Yes.
Nick, he's fighting ranked 20th, who is above him, Cameron. So this is Terrence Howard, man, from Crash. Don't worry, Nick.
Chance.
Ronald McDonald gets a weapon, and it's going to be the Silver Surfboard, speaking of. But, Nick, this is going to go down at the forest where they tried to capture the Silver Surfer, speaking of. Nick, I'm leaning Ronald McDonald with the Silver Surfboard on this one, but
it's the only answer.
I wouldn't be mad if a chat GPT got involved here.
Let's check it out. Who would win in a fight?
Don't let me down, chat GPT.
Ronald McDonald with the Silver Surfer's surfboard. You ever see those awards that Google gives out for like, you're the first person to Google this? I think we get the first people to ever chat GPT this question.
I was going to say, I'm sure chat GPT is like, what is wrong with this guy?
Even before the board, Ronald is beyond human logic. At the surfboard, he becomes mobile.
Ronald is unreasonable.
That's cosmic propulsion, instant acceleration, and weaponized terrain. Trees become slingshots, cover, and battering rams. He's basically a clown demigod on a rocket skateboard. How the fight goes. Seconds 1 through 3, Ronald takes off from behind a tree. Cameron never sees him. Seconds 4 through 6, a glowing blur cuts through the forest canopy. Branches explode. Leaves vortex. Ground scorches. Second 7, hit confirmed.
This is like from the war room.
Can Terrence Howard win? He physically cannot win.
Yes, ChatGPT.
Final verdict. Winner by absurdity and cosmic violence. Ronald McDonald. Not close, not emotional, not symbolic. Just power.
Not emotional, just power. That's insane. That's
Ronald.
the best. That's the best thing
Ronald.
that anyone's ever entered.
He's a clown demigod.
With the silver surfboard. Holy shit! That was so funny.
I feel like Ronald blew his load a little early because that would have been a great one to have on the later rounds. But Ronald wins round one. Good lord.
Nick, Ronald McDonald moves on. Now there's one slot left for round two, and it's going to come down to a couple punching bags here, Nick. We haven't seen a lot of punching bags. We saw Noah. He died in the sewers. Get fucked.
Classic.
But we have Daniel's dad from Street Racer, ranked 26th. And he's going up against ranked 27th, Doc Brown from Back to the Future. No weapons are being utilized as a fair fight. And Nick, this is going down at
all environment
at the Bixby Bridge from Poetic Justice, where Chicago punched Regina King. You were hard on getting Danny's dad in here. And for the folks at home, you're like, who the hell's Daniel's dad? What is Street Racer? Just imagine a real life Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
Doc Brown he's a senior citizen, but he's smart. He's smart. I feel like he outwits, he outmaneuvers. Danny's dad is going to be huffing and puffing after the third failed attempt at swing. I think Danny's dad loses consciousness. He runs out of breath.
I think he just has a heart attack.
Doc Brown takes that opportunity to roll him on the ground off the Bixby Bridge. See ya. You're going into some jagged rocks into the Pacific Ocean. Doc Brown, easy dub for me.
Yeah, it's just mind games. This is an easy one. Doc Brown.
Doc Brown. All right, Nick, that's going to bring us to round two. Now it gets spooky because our top four dogs are now jumping into the fun. Freddy Krueger, Darth Vader, Sue Storm, and Dr. Doom. They are now in round two. 16 fighters. We have 8 matchups for round two. We have 16 weapons to be utilized. And we're going to have 8 weapons left after it's all said and done from round two. And here we go. We're going to check out our fighters first. I got 3 wheels at my disposal. First fighter is, oh, goddamn, Ronald McDonald is back.
Come on, baby.
Ronald McDonald, ranked 25th. He's going up against, oh, Jesus.
Oh, no. What's happening to Ron?
He has Darth Vader.
No!
Who is ranked number 2.
Yeah.
On that's tough. That's tough for Ronald. All right, here we go.
Give him the Death Star. Give him the Death Star. Give him the Death Star.
We want to see Ronald. We want to see Ronald survive. Let's see what Ronald gets. Ronald, for a weapon, will get. All right. Ronald McDonald, for a weapon, will be gifted Freddy Krueger's knife hands, his glove.
Yikes. I don't even know if we have to roll the environment on this one, but you can.
Roll in the environment.
Make it a
home
McDonald's.
court, home court, home court.
Home court.
Home court, home court. Oh my God. It was 3 away from that one. Nick, this is going down in the vampire cave from the Lost Boys. I feel like Darth Vader takes this one, but I'm interested to see what ChatGPT has to say about this.
What Ronald has, cartoon physics durability, mascots don't flinch. The battlefield, vampire caves. This matters more than you think. That's what it says. Has tight tunnels, vertical drops, echoing sound, shadowed ledges, and uneven terrain. Round 1, visibility. Ronald hides in the shadows. Vader doesn't care. There's nowhere Ronald can stand that Vader can't feel. Round 2, distance. Ronald has knives. Vader has choke from across the cave, the ability to throw Ronald into a wall without moving, and force grab to yank the gloves off. Vader ignites Ronald. Red light fills the cave. Final verdict, Darth Vader. Ronald is scary. Vader is inevitable.
Wow. Man, ChatGPT's got bars. What did it say? Mascots don't flinch?
Mascots don't flinch, and he has no pain receptors, apparently. No fear, no pain response. It also says psychological warfare by vibes alone is what Ronald has.
Ronald's got psychological vibes.
Ronald tried.
He tried, he failed. Let's see who's jumping into the CINEDOME next. Entering is from Big Trouble in Little China. We got Wang Chi.
Yes.
Ranked 15th. He's going up against.
Now, does every fighter in this round get a weapon?
Everybody gets a weapon.
Every underdog gets a weapon. Good.
All weapons from here on out are featured in all fights. He's going up against Sapphire Sinister, ranked 12th. So Wang Chi, martial artist, is an underdog going up against a witch that beat up Biff Tannen. Nick, Wang Chi, for a weapon, he's going to get, let's see if we can get some damage multipliers or something. Holy smokes. Ooh. I'm going to save the weapon and see what the environment is, because goddamn, that is quite the pull. It's happening at the Dayton River Bridge, basically the LA River from the movie In Time, where Henry, what was his name? Matt Boner, when he jumped off and killed himself, or timed out, I should say. This is going down at the Dayton River, aka basically the LA River. Nick, Wang Chi has a helicopter with a bottom-mounted minigun.
Is Scarlet Sinister strong enough to take down a helicopter?
Now, if this was Darth Vader, helicopter doesn't stand a chance, because like we saw on the Obi-Wan show, he stopped an entire spaceship from taking off.
I don't think Scarlet Sinister has mastered her powers enough to take down...
She's too young.
Helicopter. Yeah, she's too young. Maybe an older Scarlet Sinister could do such a thing. But I think Wang Chi gets himself up into that bird. He plays a little fortunate son. He mans that fucking minigun.
Helicopter.
Wang Chi, welcome to round 3.
Next up, Nick, a Fantastic Four character. It's going to be one of these guys. It's Sue Storm, ranked 3rd.
Oh, boy.
Odds are she's going up against an underdog. Let's see what happens here. Who's fighting Sue Storm? The most powerful Sue Storm we've seen on screen. And it's going to be the person that was right next to her on the wheel, which is Dr. Doom, ranked 4th.
Oh, we're going to see this in Doomsday.
We are going to see this in Doomsday, but this is also the Dr. Doom from Fantastic Four, who we thought was necessarily not the most powerful Doom. And we thought that iteration of Sue Storm was the most powerful Sue Storm. So Dr. Doom,
what does Doom have?
Is the underdog. Let's see what weapon he pulls. Oh, I was hoping this was going to be saved for another fight, but he gets the anti-vampire serum, which is lethal to both humans and bats, from Morbius. Nick, this fight is going down at ChatGPT land for show. You might as well just get that ready. Start typing it.
Might as well just get that prompt going.
Nick, this is happening at Jupiter's Claim theme park from the movie Nope.
All right, ChatGPT, what do you have for me? The fighters. Dr. Doom brings in electrokinesis. Brings in electrokinesis. Metallic heat-proof skin, super strength, durability, tech genius mindset with his bonus item. Important note, the serum doesn't counter Sue's power. It only buffs Doom physically.
The vampire serum?
I don't think ChatGPT knows what's going on. Well, let's see what it says. How the fight plays out. Round 1, opening exchange. Doom attacks first, lightning blast, metal charging forward. Sue goes invisible immediately. He's now attacking empty space, guessing, overheating, getting disoriented. Round 2, Sue takes control. So Sue doesn't need to fight. She only needs to drop a force field around Doom, shrink it, apply pressure, cut oxygen. Anti-vamp serum or not, Doom cannot get to Sue. In movie logic, Sue can destroy tanks by compromising shields. Doom is just a man in metal to her.
Damn.
Could Doom fry the shield? Possibly, but in his version, His electricity is not on an invisible woman cosmic scale. So this is like comparing the O5 to First Steps. He struggles to even control his own powers. Final verdict, Sue Storm, First Steps version, because she has battlefield control, crushing offense, precision attacks. Doom is powerful, but Sue is inevitable. We're using that line again. If she decides it's over, then it is.
Wow. Sue Storm from First Steps walks away with it.
Boom. I thought it was closer than that, but ChatGPT says not a chance. I don't think it understands the anti-vamp serum, but I don't think it matters. I don't think he's even getting close to Sue.
Well, yeah, they're like, it buffs Doom, and then later they're like, it actually doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do shit.
Nick, keeping with that Fantastic Four theme, we have number 6 ranked fighter, The Thing from Fantastic Four. Tim Story era, Michael Chiklis. He's going to be going up against... Johnny Storm, who is number 5 from Fantastic Four, same era. Ben Grimm technically gets a weapon here.
He's a dog.
His weapon, let's see if it's going to be some sort of damage multiplier. If the elements are out. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I'm going to save the weapon and see what the environment, where this weapon's going to be. Let's see if it has a damage multiplier. This is going down at Lo Pan's Palace from Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Thing gets Steven Seagal's exploding bunker from On Deadly Ground. Now, does the explosion enhance Johnny's fire abilities?
I'm not sure if the weapon or environment matters much. Is the Thing killable by fire? Even supernova?
It's really tough. I don't know if the Thing can catch Johnny Storm. I don't know if Johnny Storm can kill the Thing. These are brothers from different mothers going at it.
Do we need to ask ChatGPT?
Oh, ChatGPT. What do you have to say about this?
Fighters, and then we're going to talk about the battlefield, and let's get into how the fight goes. Round 1. Johnny dominates early. Johnny starts airborne. He scorches the floors, the columns, the corridors. Ben eats fire and pushes forward anyway. We already see in the movie, Johnny's flames do not put Ben down. They knock him back. They don't stop him. Round 2. The bunker changes everything.
This guy, dude.
Ben gets terrain control. He sets off the bunker at the right moment. Johnny is concussed midair. Debris rains, collapse occur. Ben survives and pushes through. Johnny loses balance, loses airspace, risks his flame disruption, and gets buried or stunned. Round 3, close ranges death. If Ben gets one hand, one leg, one shoulder grab, it is over. Johnny's powers don't help if his head is smashed into stone, he's pinned under rubble, or his flame flickers from oxygen lost. Ben thrives in pressure. Johnny doesn't. Final verdict, The Thing. Why? Durability. He's a tank. Explosion resistance. Close quarters dominance. Terrain-based victory. With an exploding bunker in a palace, Ben Grimm becomes a walking siege engine. Ben Grimm.
Wow. Ben Grimm with the upset, the slight upset. Yeah. Thanks to that exploding bunker that apparently changed everything. ChatGPT is on one.
They know it's only gotten better since last year.
Halfway through round 2, we're going to be entering fight number 5 here. We got, looks like our top diggity dog, Freddy Krueger, number 1.
Yeah.
What poor soul has the Fredness? Turns out you're not so lucky this time, because Lucky from Poetic Justice has Freddy. Nick, you're waving off Lucky like he doesn't have a chance here. Tupac in a mail truck? Let's see if he can get some... oh, no, there's no damage multiplier. The pistol was already used. What's his weapon? Lucky... Oh, he just pulled the Death Star. He just pulled the Death Star. He just pulled it. Lucky is Lucky.
Living up to his name. I don't care about the environment. It doesn't really matter. You can't haunt dreams if you don't have a planet.
Holy shit! Oh, dude, the home court advantage would change. I'm ChatGPT right now. It would have changed everything. If this was a Freddy Krueger home court advantage, that would have changed everything. But no, Nick, this is a poetic justice home court advantage. The fight is happening inside the mail truck outside of Justice's house in South Central Los Angeles.
Freddie, I have 3 words for you. It's a nightmare! Lucky. With a Death Star at his disposal, what that really means inside a mail truck. Freddy appears in the side panel, the ceiling, a pile of mail. Next phase, Freddy warps gravity, makes packages scream, turns boxes into hands, makes the truck strength longer than physically possible, rewrites geometry. Could Lucky win if Lucky is never asleep, if Freddy is somehow forced into the real world, if Lucky escapes the truck, and if Freddy doesn't decide to toy with him? That's a lot of if.
This is well actually from those ifs, this fight doesn't take place in the dream world. That's why I said home court advantage is everything, because if this was in the dream, I have an environment in the dream world, but we are in the real world. Lucky has home court advantage on this situation. This is just like Marty.
I think Lucky destroys the planet and then Freddy isn't on that planet anymore. So I think this is Lucky. I think the Death Star is just the equalizer on this one.
The Death Star is just your silver bullet. That's your get out of jail free card. That and a couple others. So
yes,
man, Freddy goes down to Tupac. What? Crazy.
With a Death Star. I mean,
that was insane. I can't believe he pulled that.
What a pull. What a terrible look for Freddy. What a terrible. He's the number 1, right?
He's number 1.
Yeah, that's a terrible pull for the number 1. Death Star was really the only thing you could not have happen.
That or the world ship, because Death Star is number 2. Well, speaking of them streets, coming into the CINEDOME, we got 23rd best fighter O-Dog from Menace to Society. Okay. Let's see who he is squaring up with. It's gonna be, oh boy, Gordy from the movie Nope.
Oh shit!
Ranked 18th. Now, Gordy took on Steven Seagal. Can he take on a high schooler? Well, let's see what that high schooler has for a weapon at his disposal. O-Dog is going to be handed. Well, this is a ChatGPT if I've ever seen one, because he has Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Oh, I think I know the answer, but who would win in a fight?
The fight is happening at the Death Pit dig site from Return to Halloween Town.
With a lightsaber.
Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Oh, yeah.
We're specific on everything else. Might as well.
They might say he can't handle it. That's an option.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking you have to have, like, because Rebels obviously disclaimed that, and they said you have to have some sort of connection with the lightsaber. So I'm not thinking he has the prowess of a lightsaber wielder, but maybe the lightsaber or the Death Pit will change everything, as we've discussed today.
I can only imagine that it will. O-Dog has the loadout of Darth Vader's lightsaber. Why that matters here? He's human, but now he has a top-tier weapon. No Jedi trading. His swing will be rough, but danger doesn't require finesse. Morale factor. A glowing blade is psychologically overwhelming. Gordy, what matters here? Explosive speed and strength, extreme unpredictability, no tactics, just instinct. Does not care about lightsabers.
I don't care.
How it plays out. Opening moments. Gordy charges like a force of nature, but a lightsaber changes the rules. Reach and instant stopping power means one clean contact ends momentum. O-Dog doesn't need precision, he needs timing. The blade supplies the rest. Open space favors the person with the lethal edge, not the grappler. If Gordy closes distance first, it's chaos. If the blade connects even once, it's over immediately. Final verdict, O-Dog with Vader's lightsaber, because a lightsaber is a force multiplier that negates size and strength. The open dig site removes stealth. One successful touch decides the fight. Gordy dominates unarmed humans. A human with Star Wars tier gear is a different story.
O-Dog.
It is O-Dog.
Moves on. Thank you, lightsaber. That's the justice system of the ranked tier list going to work there. 4 fighters left, a couple big ones here. It's going to be the most powerful one left on the board, which is going to be Morbius. It is Morbin time. He's going up against either Marty McFly, Doc Brown, or Shearet.
If it's not Shearet, I think we're going to have a fucking slaughter.
Oof. It was almost Shearet, but it is Doc Brown.
I'm kind of happy because otherwise it'd be Marty versus Doc, and I don't know. I don't think my
I
heart
didn't
can
want
handle
that.
that.
I didn't want
Nah.
that. Well, Doc Brown, let's see what he can pull. He almost got a damage multiplier, but he's pulling the Chinatown combo, aka the Jack Burton special. This is a dual wield Tech 9 Uzi and a fishing knife. And this fight, as you asked, is going down at home court advantage for Doc Brown. It's the Twin Pines Mall at 1 a.m.
I don't see a world. Morbius has
Morbius can dodge bullets. He can dodge bullets.
I think that is a very unfortunate matchup for Doc.
We're sending you back to the future!
No, Doc! Doc!
But I think
Yeah.
Morbius, unfortunately, takes down.
Doc said it's traveling time, and Morbius said, "Nope, bitch, it's Morbin time."
It is Morbin time. Dr. Emmett Brown, rest in peace. Your gravestone, forever memorialized in 1955. It'll just say, lost in a duel with Morbius.
Over $80.
Over $80.
Okay, and Nick, that means the last matchup is going to be Shearet, number 14th from Rogue One, against Marty McFly, ranked 22nd.
Tough for Marty.
Look for Marty. Let's see if he can pull a lucky and get something insane to help him out. And he kind of is. He just pulled Dr. Doom's space laser, which is the third best weapon on the board. This, as we discussed, we said in the episode, could probably destroy an entire city block. We didn't say it was planet killing. We said it was carnage. This is the most carnage. Carnage can carnage. Nick, let's see where this fight is happening. Where is Marty trying to hit Shearet with that space laser? It's going to be at the Baxter Building living room from First Steps. That groovy looking fireplace with the circular couch.
If Marty knows where Shearet's going to be with that space laser, I think Marty's got it.
I think there's a couple weapons that just guarantee your win. The Splazer, the Death Star, and the World Ship. If Marty pulled anything else, I think Shearet walks away with this. But Marty McFly, that plucky son of a bitch, he did this for Doc. He's like, Doc,
he pulled it out.
I got you.
He's
dog.
like, we can't have both Back to the Future characters go out back to back. He pulled it out. He pulled out the space laser and he said, I got this for you, Doc. I'm gonna honor your legacy here. And I love Shearet. But that is unfortunate for him. He got space lasered. Just like his people before him and his people after him who are going to get space lasered from the Death Star.
Okay, Nick, round 3, 8 left. Let's see who's starting off this fight. We have a Fantastic Four character. It is Ben Grimm, the Thing, ranked 6th. He's going up against.
Yes, sir.
This is only the best of the best now. Best of the best. Ooh. This is ChatGPT. Get the fuck ready, because he's going up against Darth Vader.
Oh, shit.
The Thing is walking away with some weapons here. He's getting lucky being the underdog. Ben Grimm gets the Gift, which is a magical amulet from the Disney Channel original movie Return to Halloween Town. Nick, this fight is going down at as I wrote down, the high school house party from Menace to Society. Yes, it's full of people, innocent bystanders.
The setting favors precision control, rapid de-escalation, and collateral damage, which is Vader's specialty. How the fight unfolds, Vader's priority isn't win loudly, it's control the room. He uses the Force to isolate Ben from everyone, distance and terrain like a chessboard. He doesn't engage in a brawl if he doesn't have to. Ben's priority is protection. If the Thing realizes people are in danger, he shifts to shielding over attacking. The gift could theoretically change everything. Does the gift flip the result only if Ben has time to understand it? He activates it deliberately. It responds instantly and cleanly, and Vader doesn't interrupt. That's a tall order on a surprise confrontation. Vader's whole advantage is not letting moments like that happen. Final verdict is Darth Vader, not because he hits harder, but because he controls the environment, acts instantly, and keeps control when others lose it. The thing is stronger. Vader is unstoppable under pressure, and in a room full of people, pressure decides the fight.
Good on us for ranking these guys accurately, because Darth Vader versus the Thing, that's a total toss-up between two different properties.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Even with the gift at a busy house party.
I feel like in my head as well, the Darth Vader could just tear the Thing apart pebble by pebble. Like Darth Vader is... I always felt like the Star Wars movies didn't do him justice. But I feel like Rogue One, which is the movie we're looking at him from, was the first movie that did him the justice of just straight up problem.
Straight up menace.
Of like just choking, throwing, just destroying a room full of people at will.
The most intimidating
version.
Portrayal of Vader.
Yeah, that's a great word. Yes.
That's what I was trying to find.
I mean, that's the word.
Darth Vader walks away with it. Oh, Ben Grimm, R.I.P. Michael Chiklis. Maybe Debbie will comfort you. Not. She hates you.
If only he had a crane.
Nick, what time is it?
It's Morbin time.
Morbin time. Morbius is going up against.
You bet your ass it is.
Let's see if Lucky, the plucky Tupac lucky dog, can be lucky yet again. Please don't. Please don't waste another weapon. I don't want this guy moving on against the Morb.
The fact he's in the Elite Eight right now.
Oh, okay. This is
awesome.
Nick, Lucky's weapon, which technically can be flipped on him because this is going to be time-sucking / wrist fighting from the movie In Time. So that means Morbius can use that against Lucky. Nick, you're shaking your head like you're shaking off Lucky, like his time is over. His luck has ran out.
The only time that Lucky's about to be introduced to, James, is Morbin time.
This Morbin time is going down at the airplane graveyard from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
It's even worse for Lucky. He's got no advantage. He's just getting morbed on. Lucky wouldn't even stop a woman from getting beat up in front of his truck. He just doesn't have it in him.
Yeah, Lucky's luck has run out and he's super dead.
I was wondering when wrist time fighting was going to come into play because it is not useful to anybody. Getting to the Elite Eight, man, that's a win of a season for Lucky. You know what I mean? Like, you got to just appreciate your wins.
Well, let's see if Marty McFly can appreciate a win. Ooh. He's got some tough competition unless he pulls O-Dog here. And he's going to get Wang Chi. Wang Chi. Now, Wang Chi,
pull something good.
Wang Chi was able to fend off a witch with a helicopter with a bottom-mounted minigun. Let's see what Marty gets. Wondering when this one was going to come into play. He gets the giant Jupe Park inflatable from the movie Nope.
I think it'd be hilarious to see because Marty would be like, "Oh, I'm going to let out this inflatable, Doc." Then he get his ass kicked by Wang Chi.
The fight is happening at Red's Wrecking Yard from the movie Street Racer.
The inflatable is huge, startling, awkward, but not a real weapon. How it plays out. Opening beat. Marty deploys the inflatable. It's loud. It's weird. It blocks sight lines. Wang's response. He doesn't panic. He moves. He uses cars for cover, changes angles, closes distance the moment the inflatable creates a blind spot. The core problem for Marty, the inflatable is distraction, not protection. It can't defend against a trained rush, and it becomes a liability in tight aisles. It tangles, snags, and blocks Marty's own movement. Wang has fought in cramped underground layers with supernatural enemies. A scrapyard clown balloon does not raise his blood pressure.
It's not clown.
Final verdict. Wang Chi. Marty is brave. The inflatable is weird. Wang Chi is simply on another level. ChatGPT really just thought the inflatable was weird.
It was not about the inflatable. It's like, this
it
is
didn't
weird.
understand what
This
we were
is
going
weird.
for.
Why is this here? This is weird. Nick, now we have the last two fighters. We have Sue Storm versus O-Dog.
Oh, O-Dog better pray for the planet-eating ship.
O-Dog is going to get another gun. He has Doc Brown's modified sniper from Back to the Future Part 3. And it doesn't do diddly squat. Let's see where this fight is taking place just for shits and gigs. The Back to the Future Part 2 tunnel. Nick is waving it off. It's no contest. Sue Storm rips O-Dog apart. O-Dog. What a run.
O-Dog, like Lucky, just be happy to be here. You're going up against someone with some cosmic powers. Just happy you made it, but Sue Storm rips him to shreds. I mean, it's not even...
Round 4. This is top dogs only. This is top dogs only. We have Vader, number 2. Sue Storm, number 3. Morbius, number 7. Underdog Wang Chi, number 15. Let's see who's jumping in first.
I'm all in on Wang Chi, dude.
Let's go. Let's do it for Wang Chi. For Chinatown, Darth Vader's coming in. He is entering. He is just walking into the CINEDOME. He's got no fucking... Oof. You know what? I'm going to see where this is taking place. Where's Darth Vader walking into? He's walking into. Give me something good. This is interesting. This might be a ChatGPT situation based on the environment alone, because it could change everything. This is happening at the boiler room, parentheses, dream world. No, it's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. All right.
Who is Vader going up against? Of course. Next best fighter right next to him, the First Steps iteration of Sue Storm. Sue Storm gets a weapon. Holy shit. She's going to get a Sam's LMG from Ronin.
How it plays out, opening moments. Sue opens invisible and armored in a force field. Vader immediately feels a presence and hostile intent. In the real world, that's often enough. But this isn't the real world. Vader's advantage, control from a distance, is weakened. Telekinesis relies on consistent rules. Nightmare space constantly cheats. Sue's advantage, shaping space itself, travels with her. Her force fields don't care about gravity. They become shields. Invisibility is perfect against a reality that lies in a dream. Sue's literal control over space is more trustworthy than Vader's assumption that space behaves. Who wins? Sue Storm. First Steps. Not because of the gun, it barely matters here, but because she controls space. And in a nightmare, space is everything. Vader is terrifying where the universe obeys rules. Sue Storm is terrifying where it doesn't.
Wow.
I would have Vadered here because I thought he controlled a little more of like the sub-reality.
The First Steps iteration of Sue Storm is insanely powerful.
It's wildly powerful.
Insanely powerful. And
I'm also a big Darth Vader stan, so like that I'm
too.
biased. But ChatGPT really just told me like, "Hey, dude, shut up."
But you know what? The term poetic justice is going to make a lot more sense here than it does in the actual movie, because we were both in on Sheeran as the best fighter, and I, as a cheeky little boy, put in Darth Vader as a wild card because I wanted to see him here. But guess what? He was never supposed to be here. And now he's dead. Thanks to...
Karma's a bitch.
I'm going to say that LMG did something. I'm going to say Sue grabbed that LMG and shredded him in the dream. I don't care. But Nick, shout out back-to-back CINEDOME championships featuring one of the few women to show up in the championship round. Hell yeah, let's go. Sue Storm moves on.
Do it, Sue.
To the final battle. And that means it is now Wang Chi versus the Morb himself.
He's going to need something.
3 weapons on the board right now. There's one weapon that can take down the Morb. This is interesting. I don't think he would be... I think Morbius is way too fast and he would definitely evade this weapon, but it's going to be Doc Brown's sleep inducer from Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Nick, this fight is happening inside the McDonald's from Mac and Me.
Oh,
if that matters.
Morb.
If that matters.
Morb. Mainly because I think we deserve Morbius versus Sue Storm.
Yeah, it was just meant to be.
It was meant to be. And God forbid Morbius gets the planet, He gets the Planet Destroyer.
By the rules of the championship round, which we are now entering, which is going to feature Sue Storm from First Steps, ranked 3rd, versus Morbius from Morbius, ranked 7th. This is where the weapons are just out and about, and they're at the disposal of anybody. So, yes, Nick, the championship round features the TA-2, aka the World Ship, and the yellow Honda S2000 that Mickey drove in Street Racer. I think we're Chat GPT in this situation just to see what happens. Nick, this fight is happening. Hell yeah, at the supermarket where Mac Daddy pulled a gun on Buck Flower from Mac and Me.
I said, who would win in a fight, Morbius from Morbius or Sue Storm from First Steps? They are in a supermarket from Mac and Me. In the middle of the supermarket are 2 weapons.
One's the size of a solar system.
The TA-2, the planet-eating ship of Galactus, and a yellow, what was the make and model again?
Honda S2000.
From the year 2007.
8.
8?
2004, one of those.
I don't think the Honda's going to matter. Let's see how this goes. Opening seconds. Morbius moves first, always. He dives through aisles like a missile. Sue goes invisible immediately. Mid-fight escalation. Morbius hears movement, destroys shelves, charges echoes, tries to overwhelm with speed. Sue drops pocket shields, redirects momentum, blocks sightlines, hard seals sections of the store, collapses shelves on her terms, not into her. Morbius has to reach her to win. She never has to touch him. The Honda S2000. Sue uses it as a battering ram.
Hell yeah,
a moving
finally.
shield, a wall, a trap. Morbius sees it as an obstacle. Once Sue wraps a force field around the car, it becomes a guided missile. The TA-2 does nothing. Is too big, too alien, too slow to matter.
It's
in
weird.
A close-range supermarket.
It's too weird.
Why is it in a supermarket? It's too big.
Why is it here? Why is it weird?
Get it out of here. The final verdict. Winner is Sue Storm. Not because she's stronger, not because she's faster, but because she controls space, denies contact, neutralizes movement, doesn't fight him. She fights the environment. Morbius is a predator. Sue Storm rewrites the hunting grounds.
That's gangster, dude.
Sue Storm.
Sue Storm from First Steps.
You have won.
Let's fucking... Dude, 2 women. Back-to-back women champs.
She is overpowered. They made in First Steps. They made her top tier, and we said it. We said it when we reviewed it. She deserved it. She deserved it after the last few failed attempts. I mean, Jessica Alba, hot, but not powerful. And then they gave her, they were like, let's get basically a supermodel to play Sue Storm. And this time, Fantastic Four First Steps, she was still hot, but powerful.
Nick, this whole entire CINEDOME was incredible. No, it was fantastic.
Say that again?
What a fight. What a round. What a championship. What a tourney.
Can't ask for much more than that.
What a journey. What a tourney. Morbin time to the championship. I was pulling for like an underdog. I really wanted Marty in there. Maybe another Arnold situation. Daniel's dad would have been funny. But Nick, what was the most surprising thing from this fighting tournament?
I think how much we underrated Morbius. I think a little bit. And then I'm a little surprised that the TA-2 didn't play a bigger role in it.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with a mano-a-mano in a supermarket with a Honda S2000 becoming a guided missile. Finally.
I do. I mean, all love to the S2000. But it was actually it was really good to see a planet-destroying weapon make it to the final and then not matter. Because sometimes you think to yourself, if somebody has the TA-2, it's over, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
done
just
for.
It's a winning ticket.
Yeah, but in this case, it made it to the finals, and it just wasn't It didn't even matter. So we got a mono Sue Storm, Morbius. We were able to
What a
answer
fight,
the question
too.
that everyone's been asking since First Steps came out. And this is the only podcast that does that. And I think that that's powerful. I think it matters.
Honestly, that's a really cool final fight. I was like on the edge of my seat from what ChatGPT was going to say. I was like, who's going to win this? I'm going to be down for whatever. But Nick, I think the most shocking thing to me, the most like almost like embarrassing thing was just how fast Freddy Krueger went out with a Death Star. That's just tough, dude.
Well, that's what the bracket's about. And James, I gotta be honest with you. Adding the environment, genius, my man. It decided a few matchups.
It was everything.
Those are things that I gotta be honest with you. This is what the people want. And
this is exactly what the CINEDOME was created for. Created for fun, created for storytelling, created for being ridiculous and smiling and laughing and having a good time, because we have our tier list. Like I said, we know who on paper is the best fighter, but the fun part is how does it unfold in a storytelling environment, which is something I think we did. And AI also did to our entertainment.
Thanks,
and it was fun. It was great.
You did a lot better this year.
And that wraps up all the festivities for the Rap Party finale. Nick, our biggest piece of shit is Briggs. We have our Cornys, our Poppies, and Sue Storm wins the CINEDOME Fighters Tournament. You go, girl. Let's fucking go. We would do a wheel right now for the franchise of the year of what we're going to be watching next year. But Nick, I think we're a little bit wheeled out. We've had too many wheels today.
We've wheeled it up.
You're just going to have to join us for 2026 and see what we're watching, because for 2025, we are heading gone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow us, like, subscribe, YouTube at Just Play It Podcast, on Instagram, on the YouTubes at Just Play It Pod, on X. We're out of here. We're going to keep doing what we do. For the 2025 season, we say adios, mother cluckers. And we'll see you in 2026, where we will find movies, pop them in, and just play it. What did it say? Mascots don't flinch?
Chimpanzees don't square up. They explode into violence.